Welcome to One Shots, the comic book review show that covers some of our favorite stories. Today, we're taking a look at Batman 66 meets Wonder Woman 77. So Batman 66 meets Wonder Woman 77. Right off the bat, the writers Mark Andreyko and Jeff Parker are doing a pretty good job. It feels just like a Batman 66 TV show episode. Maybe the stakes are a little bit higher at the very end, but besides that, very much like a TV episode. And the artists, Carl Kessel and David Hahn, are doing a really good job. One thing I thought was really interesting about the art, at the very beginning, there's a little Catwoman cameo because Ra's al Ghul hires her. Catwoman's there, and it's the Eartha Kitt Catwoman instead of Julie Newmar. I thought that was really interesting. Maybe the artists or the writers preferred her Catwoman over Julie Newmar, but yeah, usually when Catwoman's talked about from 66, it's Julie Newmar, but Eartha Kitt version in this one, so I thought that was pretty cool. But so the story itself, really interesting. We dive into the past of Bruce Wayne's life when he was a child. Not much attention has ever been given to Bruce Wayne's childhood, you know? I mean, the show Gotham kind of does it now, but usually in the comics they never really talk about those teen years with Bruce Wayne. We just kind of go right to the adulthood. But in this issue, it turns back the time a little bit. So Batman and Robin are trying to stop Catwoman from stealing these two texts, and eventually she gets away because Talia shows up, of all people. Talia al Ghul in a Batman 66 show or comic. Can't believe it. It's really interesting. She shows up, Catwoman gives her the text, and Batman is trying to tell her, you know, trying to figure out who did you give it to, Catwoman? Where are the texts going? He figures out that it's Talia. So we flash back to when Bruce Wayne was a young boy, and there's a charity auction at Wayne Manor that his father, Thomas Wayne, is throwing. And one of the items up for bid are these two texts. Now, people show up, you know, everyone's there, but what's interesting is that Ra's al Ghul is there, and he's bidding on these two books, and if Ra's al Ghul's involved, it's probably not a good sign. There might be some nefarious plot at hand. But he's there with his daughter, Talia, and that's where Bruce Wayne is first introduced to Talia al Ghul, you know, the great love of his life. They're off playing while Ra's al Ghul's bidding on this item. But the great thing about this series is that because it takes place in that 1960s universe, Bruce Wayne's childhood is kind of like the 40s, 50s-ish. And with that, there's the very typical bad guy, Nazis. Now we've got Nazis against Ra's al Ghul bidding for these two texts, which in both cases are very bad. And if you don't know a little bit about history, Hitler was very involved with like magical items and stuff. He was kind of weird that way. So this is a very plausible story because the Nazis did try and collect these kinds of items for ultimate power. So Ra's al Ghul is bidding against Nazis. Both of them are trying to outbid each other, when suddenly this old man who's like a collector of rare antiquities, he outbids both of them. And he wins the auction. With that, Ra's al Ghul is very angry. He threatens his life, and he brings out some of his ninjas or assassins from the League of Shadows. They pop out, threaten this guy's life, and then the Nazis reveal themselves as Nazis. They're saying, no, those are our books. We're going to take them. All this is happening at the same time. Steve Trevor and Diana Prince are at the auction as well. Wonder Woman sees what's happening. She does the twirl in very 70s fashion, and she becomes Wonder Woman. She starts whooping ass, beats up the Nazis, starts beating up League of Assassins members, and all at the same time, Bruce Wayne sees that the old man who outbid the two bad guys is in trouble. So in his natural heroic instincts, he tells the man to come with him so that he can survive, he can get away from the danger. So him and Talia are escorting the old man to a secret passageway in Wayne Manor, like behind a bookshelf. They run away, but a Nazi sees them, and he breaks in, and he tries to attack them. All of a sudden, the dude gets knocked out because Bruce throws a brick at his head, knocks the guy out, grabs the books, and runs. He tails it with Talia trying to escape. So they're running away. They get separated because, again, more Nazis are showing up trying to stop them. When we reach the end of the issue, he's confronted by Ra's al Ghul, and he says, no, I thought you were supposed to be on our side. And he's like, no, Mr. Wayne, the only one on your side is you. Now hand it over. And he's got a sword out, and it looks like he's going to attack Bruce. So we've got Ra's al Ghul trying to get these two magical books from Bruce Wayne, and who knows, we're going to probably see Wonder Woman stop Ra's al Ghul, or Talia try to convince her father that he's not a bad guy because she loves him, and that's always been the Talia-Bruce Wayne dynamic. But what's interesting about this first issue is that, you know, as much as it's called Batman 66 meets Wonder Woman 77, the entire series of the book really takes place in a flashback, and it feels more like a Batman Talia story than a Batman Wonder Woman story. Now again, this is only issue number 1, and I'm sure they'll dive more into the Batman Wonder Woman relationship, maybe, you know, as he grows older and we come back to present time, because again, this issue's all flashback. But it's really Talia and Bruce, like the whole story's kind of around them escaping Nazis and escaping ninjas because they want to survive. Wonder Woman is there, obviously. She's beating up bad guys, but it really focuses more on Bruce Wayne and Talia throughout the book. But it is really cool that at the beginning, when when Batman sees that the texts have been stolen, and he realizes what texts have been stolen, he's talking to Robin in the Batcave about it, and he says, "This takes me back to the night where I met one of the world's greatest superheroes." So we know that Wonder Woman's been around for a long time, and it's interesting to see where exactly they'll show them in present day. Like, has there been any turmoil? Has there been any friction of some sort? Because he seems to be kind of mysterious about it when he talks to Robin. But who knows? I mean, it's still Batman 66. It's a very light tone, so I don't know if they'll bring in any friction between the two heroes. They'll probably get along because that's what superheroes are supposed to do. They get along to beat the bad guys. All right, so should you get this book? Should you not? I think if you're a big fan of the history of comics and Batman in general, Batman 66, which was a very important part of Batman's life in terms of the early 60s, you should definitely invest in the book. I mean, it's not a bad story by any means. It's a TV show in a book. That's all it is, with the stakes a little bit higher. You know, at the very end of the Batman 66 episodes, there was usually, will the Caped Crusader survive the trap of death? Because there's always the death traps. It's kind of the same thing here. Bruce Wayne runs the Ra's al Ghul at the very end, young Bruce Wayne. Ra's al Ghul's got the sword out, so it's like, will Bruce Wayne survive Ra's al Ghul and his deadly sword? Tune in next time, and it ends just like that. So there's a really nice campy feel about it, and in today's world where a lot of the comics are taken much more serious, it's kind of nice to go back with a lighter tone, and it's a fun issue, because again, there's not much history or time spent on Bruce Wayne's childhood. You know, it's his parents die, and then we do a fast forward to him being Batman. And we kind of skip all those years in between, so it's kind of nice to see, like, even if it's not canon, you know, it's the Batman 66 universe, it's nice to see, you know, him interacting as a child with other children, you know, like Talia, seeing Talia as a little girl interacting with Bruce Wayne, her one true love. It's nice to see, and it's really it's a cool aspect of the Batman mythos that really there's not enough light shed on it. So if you're interested in seeing Batman as a young boy escaping harm with Talia, then definitely look into it. And I mean, Wonder Woman kicks ass in the issue, so you got no problems with that as well. She's beating up Nazis, and as we know, you can always beat up Nazis and be happy about it. Okay, so what do you guys think is going to happen? Let me know in the comments below, because as we know, there's a lot of questions left unanswered. You know, what's going to happen to Bruce Wayne? How's Ra's al Ghul going to not kill him? Like, how's Bruce Wayne going to survive? What's Talia doing with Wonder Woman? A lot of questions left unanswered, so let me know what you think in the comments below, and if there are any books you think we should be reading here at that hashtag show, be sure to let us know. And if you enjoyed this comic book review, be sure to like, favorite, and subscribe to that hashtag show to stay up to date with everything trending in geek pop culture.